Hi there, this is Ranjit and I have the Nokia 6 and I have been using this device for almost 1.5 days now, and I had done this unboxing, and in that video I had asked you guys if you have any other common questions regarding the Nokia 6, post that, and I've got quite a few questions, so I'll be answering those questions. And guys, this is not a full review, this is my impressions of the Nokia 6 after about 1.5 days of usage with my primary SIM. And before I take up your questions, I've taken up quite a few. Let me give you my initial impressions, what I really liked about this device, and some of the immediate things that I noticed are wrong with this device. The first thing that I really liked about this device is the build quality. The build quality is amazing, guys. It's built like a tank, and frankly speaking, I couldn't believe the build quality of this device considering the price point. It's available in India for 15,000, but the build quality feels like some premium smartphones that cost above 35,000. So in terms of build quality, Nokia has done an amazing job. So I really like the build quality. Now moving to some of the things that I really did not like with this device is that first thing is that this one does not have a physical LED notification light, and it also doesn't have ambient display, or whenever you get a notification it lights up or something like the Moto display. So again, you have to actually open up the phone to see the notifications. So that is one thing I did not like, because the variant that is being sold in China has a LED notification light, but this one does not have the LED notification light. Another thing that I really did not like, and I was so surprised with this, is that this Nokia 6 has dual speaker setup. The earpiece is also a speaker and the bottom one is also a speaker. And generally, if you have used any Nokia phones, the speakers were very loud on Nokia phones, but on this one, the speaker volume level is simply not that good. In fact, it's a little bit disappointing for a dual speaker, and it has that Dolby Atmos. It's written on the box also, and I would say that Dolby Atmos is sort of a joke on this device. Enable it, the volume in fact goes a little bit lower. So just disable that Dolby Atmos. And frankly speaking, I'm not happy with the volume level of this dual speakers. Now let's move to some of the questions that I have been getting from you guys regarding this Nokia 6. And this first question we got from Amulya. He's asking, please compare it with the Nokia 6 global version. People say that may be difference in the global and the Indian variant. As I mentioned, the global variant that is being sold in China has the physical LED notification light. This one does not have. And in China and other markets, they are also selling one more premium variant that comes with 4 gigabytes of RAM. But the version that is being sold in India, this comes with 3 gigabytes of RAM and 32 GB of internal storage. Nokia India hasn't announced will they be releasing that 4 gigabyte RAM variant or not. Another thing that I've noticed is regarding the updates. Yes, it's running on the Android version 7.1.1 Nougat. That's a good thing. But in terms of Android monthly security updates, this one, the version that is being sold in India, is still on the June update. I don't know, and I checked it a multiple of times. It still says that you have the latest patch installed. So again, in terms of Android security updates also, as of now, this India version is not getting that monthly, Android security updates. Maybe they'll update it later on. As of now, shooting this video, it's still on the June security update. Now moving to the next one, this is regarding the auto brightness sensor. Does it perform well or not? Yes, it has the auto brightness sensor, and some of you have also asked regarding other sensors. In terms of sensors, Nokia hasn't skimped on it like Samsung does with their mid-range phones. It has all the sensors, including auto brightness, gyroscope, compass, and all this thing. The auto brightness sensor is there, but I feel it is not very well calibrated, because in indoor lighting conditions, it is actually way more brighter, and I'm manually just lowering the brightness. So yes, the auto brightness is there, it works outdoors, but I won't say that it's very well calibrated, and many times I have to manually lower the brightness. This is regarding some of the bloatware apps. Again, you should check out my unboxing video of this Nokia 6. I'll have the link in the show notes. There are, it has quite a few of pre-installed apps, mostly Amazon apps. And yes, the sad thing is that I tried to uninstall these apps. You cannot uninstall those Amazon pre-installed apps, at least on the variant that is officially being sold in India. This is by Mr. Babu. He's asking, will it be able to beat the Redmi Note 4? I've got similar questions from quite a few of you. In terms of raw performance, it simply cannot beat the Redmi Note 4 because the Redmi Note 4 is having a much more powerful processor, that is the Snapdragon 625 chipset. This runs on the relatively mediocre chipset, that is the Snapdragon 430. So in terms of raw performance, obviously the Redmi Note 4 goes ahead. But in terms of camera, definitely the Nokia 6 has a much better camera compared to the Redmi Note 4. Also in terms of build quality, as I've told, this one has amazing build quality. One of the best build quality that I've seen in a mid-range phone. Now moving to the next one, this is regarding the charging time and screen on time. Regarding the charging time, I didn't drain it from 0%, but when it was at 14%, I put it on charge. And after roughly about 2.5 hours, it reached 100%. So it's not the quickest in charging. So it might take for a full charge close to about 3 hours. But again, generally you charge it about 20% or so. So it'll take about 2.5 hours. And in terms of screen on time, I'll show you that. I'll take up the next question. This is by Anubhav. He's asking about the RAM management and battery backup. Let's first talk about the RAM management. The variant that is being sold in India comes with 3 gigabytes of RAM. And this is very surprising because it's almost stock UI that we have on the Nokia 6, but the RAM management is not that great. In fact, most of you might not notice if you are sort of a casual user, but most of my audience are sort of power users and moderate to heavy users. If you are that kind of a person, then yes, you will notice that the RAM management has not been done very well. It's like many of the Samsung mid-range phones. After about third or fourth app, if you go back to the first app, it reloads. And I've noticed that quite a few of times. For example, I'm browsing something and again you go to Twitter, you do something, and after 15-20 minutes you come back to that web page, it will reload. So certainly RAM management can be improved, and I was very surprised that the RAM management is not that good considering that it's almost stock Android experience. So hopefully Nokia can improve it, but as of now I would say RAM management is not that great. Now moving to the battery backup, again this is very initial impressions because I have just completed one charge cycle, and as you can see from the charts, this was mostly on Wi-Fi. The battery life is decent. This is after about 24 hours of usage, and screen on time, as you can see, is close to about 5.5 hours. So in terms of battery life, yes, it can last for a typical working day, but you have to charge this device every day. And I'm currently actually using it only on mobile data, and with mobile data, yes, it's taking a little bit of hit. So I would say if you just use it on mobile data, it might give you a screen on time of about 4.5 hours. So let's move to the next one. This is regarding heating issues. He's asking, how is the heating? RAM management I've already answered. Regarding heating issues, I haven't noticed any excessive heating with this device. This is similar to the other devices that I've used with the Snapdragon 430 chipset. Yes, if you're just using it on mobile data, the back gets slightly warm, but nothing like heating. But one thing to note is that I did not do any gaming yet, so I have to do the gaming and see if it heats up. But in regular usage, I've been using it with my primary SIM for 1.5 days. I haven't notice any excessive heating with this device. Now moving to the next one, this is regarding camera. How's the camera quality? Is it comparable to the Moto G5 Plus? Guys, you have to understand the camera quality is okay. For example, if you compare it with the Redmi Note 4, yeah, the camera is much better than the Redmi Note 4. But if you compare it with the Moto G5 Plus, the Moto G5 Plus is having a better camera, especially the rear facing camera. The front facing camera I feel is better on this one. I'll show you sample shots later on. Next one is, this is by Shreyas. Will it be better to upgrade from the Moto G3 to the Nokia 6? My priorities are camera, battery life, casual usage. I would say yes, it's an upgrade from the Moto G3 if you're moving from the Moto G3. The build quality is, the Moto G3 also had a good build quality, but this one has much better build quality. And yes, the camera is slightly improved compared to the Moto G3. But now again, the Moto G5S Plus is going to be launched in the next few days, and that will be having a dual camera setup. So if camera is your highest priority, I would say just wait for a couple of days and see what will be the pricing of the Moto G5S Plus. Because guys, let's be realistic. These days, many of the new smartphones that are coming with dual camera setup at this price point. So simply this Nokia 6 is having a single camera setup. It just can't compete with smartphones that are having that dual camera setup. This is by Shiva. This is regarding the audio quality. How is the headphone audio quality? Does it compare with phones with dedicated jack? Shiva, the thing is that I like the headphone output from the headphone jack. I tested it not with the supplied phones, those are rubbish, but I tested with some of my Grado and Audio Technica headphones that I have, and the audio quality was actually good. It does have that Dolby option, but again, as I've told you, that Dolby option, at least on this device, is sort of a gimmick. Just disable it. So yeah, in terms of audio from the headphone jack, it is good, but speakers are simply not that loud. I hope that helps. Arib is asking this or the LG G6. I've also tested the LG G6. In terms of looks, I would say the LG G6 looks a lot better. As you can see, it's much more sleeker, much more comfortable to hold in the hand because it's easy to fit in your hand. But in terms of build quality, definitely the Nokia 6. And overall, if I have to pick one device between these two, my pick would be the Nokia 6. The LG G6, yes, it is having a Snapdragon 435, but there are other things that the LG got it very wrong. So my pick would be the Nokia 6. This is by Mohit, a very interesting question. Is it made in India or made in China? Please check the box. So as you can see from this pics on the box, it clearly says that it's made in India. Again, technically it's assembled in India. So yeah, made in India tag is there on this phone. This is by Chimne. He's asking, is it a balanced smartphone? I would say it's not the ideal balanced phone in my frank opinion. Considering they have given a 1080p screen, the build quality and other things, they should have gone with the Snapdragon 625 chipset, because I have noticed some UI lag on this phone, which was very surprising. It doesn't happen always, but it is like the Samsung phones, mid-range phones. Sometimes you notice that UI lag when you're heavily multitasking between one app to the other. I have noticed some UI lag at times, particularly if another app is using some data in the background. The foreground app can notice a little bit of sluggishness. So yes, they should have gone with the Snapdragon 625 in my frank opinion. So I feel it's not very balanced phone. Build quality and the camera, I would say, and the other things are good, but the processor is pulling it down a little bit. Now let's move to the next one. This is regarding the front facing camera. This is by Tech. Why don't you test the autofocus from the front facing camera? Have you forgotten? Okay, here is a video that I shot with the front facing camera and some camera samples. Hi guys, this is Ranjit, and I'm recording this part of the video with the front facing camera of the Nokia 6, and the audio is also being recorded via the same, so that you can have an idea how will be the video recording. There is a little bit of wind going on, so this is the raw footage video recording at 1080p with the front facing camera of the Nokia 6. Some quick samples with the front facing camera, and I feel the front facing camera performance is actually good for the price. I also shot a small clip with the rear facing camera, so here is the clip. I'm recording this part of the video with the rear facing camera of the Nokia 6, and the maximum rate at which it can record is 1080p. There is no 4K video recording on the Nokia 6, and I'm just going to walk around to give you an idea how is the stabilization. I'm just walking normally, guys. So this should give you an idea about the video recording with this Nokia 6. And if we have the tap to focus also. So this is a very quick sample with the rear facing camera of the Nokia 6. This question is from Ganesh. He's asking, does this device have the glance option and double tap on the screen to lock the device? Sadly, no. We don't have any glance option or that double tap to wake or double tap to lock the device. So that is one thing you have to be aware of it. I also simply don't like the fact that this device does not have any LED notification light or any notification system when the phone is on standby. This is by Punk. What about RAM management? I heard it reloads the heavy apps. Yes, if you are using heavy apps after third app or so, when you go back to the first app, it reloads the app. The RAM management definitely hasn't been done that well on this device. This is by Kashyap. He's asking, how's the UI lag or stuttering? For the most part, as I've mentioned, the UI is fine. It's almost stock Android UI that you're getting, except from the camera app. The camera app, Nokia has customized it, but apart from that, it's mostly stock UI. But yes, strangely, I'm noticing some lag. It's not like every time, but 5-6% of the time I am noticing some UI lag on this device, which was sort of disappointing. This is, and again, you are asking about, is it reliable for 2 years or so? I've got similar questions from a lot of users. And I won't say that it will be a great option for about 2 years, because it's been just about 1.5 days that I've been using this device, and already I'm noticing some minor UI lag here and there and stuttering. So eventually, after about 6-7 months of usage, the lag will increase a little bit. And as I mentioned earlier also, it is running the Snapdragon 430 chipset, which is sort of underpowered for this device. Rajdeep is asking gaming and heating issues. I have to test the gaming. I didn't do the gaming. If you guys are interested about the gaming review, do let me know in the comment section below. If enough of you ask me, I can do a gaming review with this Nokia 6. Okay, this is by Shikhar. He's asking me to rate it out of 10. Let's rate it out of 5 stars. Let's say 5 stars is the highest. If I have to rate this Nokia 6, I will rate it 3.5 out of 5. In terms of build quality, I would say I'll give it 6 out of 5. But because of the other things and the shortcomings like the speaker, the general performance and the Snapdragon 430 chipset, I would say it pulls down, and the overall rating I can give to this device will be 3.5 out of 10. So guys, these were some of the common questions that I was getting regarding the Nokia 6. If you still have any other questions regarding the Nokia 6, do post those questions in the YouTube comment section below, and I'll try to include them in my full review. And if you're still not subscribed to my YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching. This is Ranjit, and I hope to see you in my next video.